I used to always say to them, I know you're trying to sell a home yourself, which is wonderful. Why don't you practice a little bit, and maybe I can give you some clues as you show your home to me as if I were a qualified buyer looking at it. I used to walk into a room that had too much furniture. I'm going to suggest you maybe take out a couple of these pieces of furniture because the room looks a little cluttered. Well, here I'm doing a training session to a for sale by owner. Believe me, you do that and you're going to lock up that listing. It's amazing the different feelings of fear by saying the right words. Calling your form a contract. My God, you scared them to death. The average person says, I'm bound if I put my name on that, I'm out of here. So we never say contract. We call it the agreement. People love agreements. Let's look at our agreement, see how it looks. They'll let you draft up the agreement. They just don't want you to fill out a contract.
What up, Masters? Welcome to another episode of Path to Mastery. And guys, I'm super pumped. We've got Tom Hopkins with us. And you guys that know my story, I've shared it a couple times. When I first got my license, going back almost 16 years now, I guess I'm dating myself a bit. However, when I first got my license, I joined a team, and the owner of the team had actually given me a set of CDs. I remember the CDs back in the day, those round things we used to put in the CD player. Anyway, it was a Tom Hopkins set. So what I did was I drove around everywhere, guys, listening to these things over and over and over and over. I'll tell you, it was like programming myself with Tom Hopkins stuff. And it was super effective because when I went on listing appointments, I was prepared for the stuff that they were going to say because not only did I listen to Tom's stuff, but I practiced. Anyway, so it's such a treat for me to be having this second interview with Tom. And here's the other thing I found out from Tom, and you'll hear at the end. It sounds like Tom is about to retire. So, he's been doing this a long time. He's helped millions of people, over 5 million people to be exact. And the guy's brilliant. He's amazing. And this is nothing complicated either because really, guys, it's about connecting with people. It's about listening. It's about getting people to like you. And that's sales. So there's nothing like super complicated about this episode. It's really just about fundamentals, but it's so awesome to connect with Tom again and listen to him and hear some of those tried and true techniques that have been working for 30 plus years. And honestly, probably a lot longer than that. So anyway, I really hope you enjoyed Tom. This episode is on mastering the art of selling, and that's what Tom's all about. So guys, I hope you really enjoy. You may have noticed we're not weekly anymore. We're actually monthly now. And I'm doing that because we really want to keep the podcast going. I've got some other things going on right now, as you probably are aware. I'm running a couple of real estate offices and just a lot, but I don't want to let the podcast go. So I'm going to make sure that I get at least one episode out every single month. And, and who knows what the future is going to hold. In the future, maybe we'll go back weekly or even more frequently than that. But for now, I want to make sure I bring you a lot of value. One episode a month, and they're all going to be amazing episodes just like this. So, hey, I just want to say I really appreciate you guys. And don't forget to get a free book. Go to davidsfreebook.com and get yourself just about any book you want on Audible, and you can get it for free. All right, guys. Hey, listen, you rock. Enjoy Tom Hopkins. What's up, Masters? We are back again with the infamous Tom Hopkins. What's up, Tom?
Well, hi. How are you doing, David? Just everything's going wonderful. We've had some fabulous, nice seminars and been to other countries. And what's amazing is, as far as real estate and other industries, our international interest in our training is almost more than it is nationally. So a lot of other countries are really excited about American selling and what we do here, not only in real estate, but in the field of sales and marketing.
Love it. Awesome. Well, hey, I just want to thank you for spending time with us again. It's your second time on the show, so we're honored. We bring back the rock stars like you. And for people who don't know who you are, I have a short bio here for all those. If you're in real estate, I don't know how you wouldn't know who you are. But anyway, for those listening, so after attaining a high level of success in his real estate career, selling 365 homes in a single year, Tom Hopkins became a trainer His goal is to help others shorten their learning curves in the sales and avoid the mistakes that he made. Tom has now trained over 5 million sales pros around the world. His books have sold millions, including How to Master the Art of Selling, a fantastic book, as well as I think it's the newest one I've read is When Buyers Say No, and then your latest book, which is Fill Your Funnel with Social Media. So thank you for joining us, man.
Well, I'm pumped to be back on your program, and I think we can give the folks listening some really good insight today, and which I'm excited about, and talking about the changes I've seen over the years in the overall real estate industry. So that this is good.
Talk to us about the market. You've been in this business a long time, this industry. It's changing, man. What are you seeing out there?
Well, the consumer in general has access to more knowledge and information than ever before. And the buying of a piece of real estate, being residential, commercial, it's a huge investment for the average person. And because of that, I think most people spend more time gathering knowledge before they either call on an ad in the paper on a property or walk into a real estate office looking to see some homes. The bottom line is the realtor today has to be more knowledgeable, sharper, I think better to answer questions. And we'll talk, I think, a little bit about one of the biggest challenges new people have, and we'll discuss that a little bit, because the new person has to have more knowledge quicker than they used to have in the past. And there again, I come back to the fact that the average consumer has access to so much information, so much knowledge. You really have to be on your toes. But I will say this, I come back to what we've all agreed upon, that I think real estate still and will always be probably one of the finest opportunities in the field of sales. And if you're good at it and you can take good listings, if you can show property properly, if you can close the sale, present a low offer to a seller, if you can do all these things as a pro, knowing exactly what to say, you're going to, regardless of how good the market might be or how knowledgeable your consumer is, I think you'll still do extremely well.
You said a lot in there, and I'm going to bring it back to information. I think you nailed it, that the consumers now have access to information, and a lot of them feel like they may not need an agent, or sometimes feel like maybe they do need an agent, but they know more. So in that case, as salespeople, how do we stay relevant?
Well, I come back to the importance of gaining knowledge yourself as soon as possible. What I used to do, David, when I had an office of 18 salesmen and women, when I'd hire a new person, of course, they'd gone to school, got a license, but that does nothing to prepare them for the real world of listing and selling property. And so what I would do is, if I had a new agent, I had taken and printed up probably the 100 answers to the most important questions that they may be asked by a buyer. And then I would also give them what to say. I had an actual listing presentation verbatim to practice, because see, the average salesperson is much like an actor or actress. Not that we're not sincere in what we're saying, but you have to say the right lines properly to get the right effect. And you were talking about my latest book, When Buyers Say No. The reason I am so excited about that book is selling doesn't start till they say some type of objection, which we call a no. And so in a way, new people are afraid of no's, where the pros that make a lot of money know they're going to probably get the no before the yes. So they are prepared, know what to say. And, you know, when I, again, would hire a new agent, I'd write out the script for, I want to think it over. It costs too much. I don't know if we've seen enough homes yet. We have a friend in real estate we want to talk to. So I knew all the things they're going to say. As an author, a writer, I would write scripts. And of course, you get my new agents, I'd lock them up for maybe a half a day and say, I want you to rehearse like an actor or actress. Eventually, when you start making a lot of money, you'll internalize all the phraseology. It'll become natural, become fluid, and you'll make a lot of money. That's kind of how I managed my office, and I had one of the top offices in California with my 18 salespeople. But so important that you just say to yourself, I must really get knowledgeable faster today. And I think another thing, you really have to know your inventory. Many salespeople rely on some type of multiple, some type of computer where they look up homes. And I tried to live by a few cardinal rules. And number one is I was out inspecting new listings. If I knew an area, location, and a listing came into the office, this is back when I was selling before I became a manager, but if a listing came in, I knew the area, if it looked like based on square footage, number of bedrooms, size of lot, if it looked good, then I would get in my car immediately and I'd drive over and preview it even before preview, which we used to call caravan day. And the reason for that, David, is if it was a good property and I'd seen it before it had been shown to the other realtors in the area, I have some power now. I can go through my client files, call the people who are looking for property, and I can, in all honesty, no gimmick, no nonsense, I can say, John, I saw a property come across my desk, a new listing, and looking at all the facts, I thought, man, this is not only good, but could be right up you and your wife's alley as far as what you're looking for. And they have not put it out to be previewed by the other realtors. I think it would be a wise decision if we made an appointment as soon as possible today before anyone sees this wonderful home. And I think that it might be a home run for us. And it was amazing because in that one little thing I just went over, David, there's a kind of a lot of emotion. I'm talking about fear of loss, having them not get a property that could be right, having no one else seen it. Because of that, we're ahead of the game. And if it is right for us, we won't lose it to another person, which, by the way, in the market we've been experiencing, there are many great listings that have 2, 3, 4 offers on them. And there are examples in some of the states I go where people are even putting a price on an offer over what they're listing it for to make sure they get it.
Yeah, that's happening a lot right now.
Yeah, so boy, it's a great time to be in real estate, I'll tell you.
So, you talked about the fundamentals. I mean, really, if you think about it, doesn't matter 30 years ago or today. Having the market knowledge is what you talked about, knowing what to say, knowing how to say it. So that really hasn't changed. I think what changed is what you said in the beginning, the amount of information that the buyers have access to, which I think is really creating one of the challenges. So something that you said, it says selling does not start until you get the no. So should that be the goal for the agent, like looking for that no? Or tell us about that. Like, what is the goal?
The goal is to have awareness that it's probably going to happen. There are 3 types of buyers. There's the buyer that you take out and show a property. It's right on. They're overwhelmed. There's no negotiation. They pay full listed price. They hurry back to the office, give you the deposit. Boom, done. 2 hours, closed them on a good transaction. Then there's the medium type of buyer who wants to look at properties and is in no hurry. They start off by saying that to you, that we're not going to jump into anything. We want to see a good number of homes, and we're really in no hurry, which is not always true. All these type of things are set as defense barriers to maybe slow down the buying pace. The average American wants to own a home, but is afraid of being sold it. And that's another reason why the great salespeople literally are aware of a basic truth, and this is brand new. You're probably, your audience, David, is hearing something that I just came up as I've been writing another book, and I don't think I've ever taught it. So I really want the people listening and taking advantage of our time to grasp this. I basically believe that the main reason a buyer who is qualified, who financially can afford a home or an investment, the main reason they don't say yes when they really should or want to is that the salesperson has done two things. They have either created fear or have not eliminated fear that the buyer has. Now, that four-letter word, fear, is so critical in selling. The average real estate agent, if you come across like you're selling, you'll create fear, which means they'll postpone, procrastinate, leave, and you'll probably never see them again. Be-backs are very few. If they're the ones that make a decision, they're leaving and going to get back to you. The other thing is, you have either created this fear by words you say. Now, let me give you an example. The people listening right now, if I met you out at a party, we went to a wedding, we're at the reception, we're standing there by the swimming pool, enjoying talking and visiting with strangers. Suddenly I say to you, by the way, what is your business? And you said, well, let me give you a hint. I work with a hammer, with nails, and a saw. Well, those three clues tell me you're a carpenter. And of course, being a carpenter, I'm not afraid of you. But if I said to you, what do you do? And you said, I really am in sales and sell insurance to people that want to have a better life. Boy, I heard the word sell. I'm not interested in insurance. And boy, I will be away from you sooner than you can think, because I created fear by letting them know I'm selling, or by even in a selling process, by saying the price of the home, which gets their little minds subconsciously thinking, let's look for a better price, let's offer them less, or we should say total investment in the property, because price triggers fear of paying too much. Total investment, it's a good thing we're doing here. Or calling your form a contract. My God, you scared them to death. Why don't we just go over the contract, see how it looks? Well, the average person says, I'm bound if I put my name on that, I'm out of here. So we never say contract. We call it the agreement. People love agreements. Let's look at our agreement, see how it looks. They'll let you draft up the agreement. They just don't want you to fill out a contract. It's amazing the different feelings of fear by saying the right words.
That's a great point. That's a really great point. So how do you, going back to the fear thing, or how do you determine if you're dealing with someone that's either in fear based on, are there questions you ask, or how do you, I guess pre-qual, right?
A lot of it's pre-qual, but also I'll say you have to be very observant of two things: visual and verbal buying signs. When people walk into your office, if you see this nervousness, or if you go into a home to consider listing, or they want to know what you can sell it for, blah, blah, and they're sitting at their table and he's leaned against the back with his arms folded, this body language is visual and telling me that this guy's uptight, he's a little nervous. And also, I think you have to kind of let folks know, when I have a buyer walk in the office and they'd say, we're kind of looking for a home, we'd like to see what properties you have. And I would say, wonderful. I'm proud of the company I represent, because we do offer wonderful homes in our inventory of properties. But I do want to say this. What you're doing is very important to you and your wife. I'm going to suggest we're patient. We don't jump. We don't hurry. Because I've built my business on a referral base where people come to me because I'm low pressure, which is the way I want us to be. Now, you'd be amazed how that little presentation relaxes them. I've almost taken away their fear by letting them know I know they have it, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I can share so many examples of listing appointments that I'd gone on with FSBOs or expireds just by telling them, listen, I'm just coming over to look. I don't expect you to hire me, any of that. If you want to, I'll be there for you. And I feel like just letting them know that, hey, I'm just here to help. If I can help you, great. If I can't, that's fine as well. It goes a long way.
Well, and you know what else too, David? I used to do that, and I'd add a little something. I would say, and by the way, just so you'll know, the company I represent is one of the top in the industry here in the city. And I've been with them now for 4 years and have had a wonderful time helping people not only sell their homes, but find wonderful properties. And you're going to have some salespeople call you on your ad that you put in the paper. They're going to see your for sale by owner sign out in front, and they're going to come after you pretty aggressively. So let me give you 3 of my cards. And if someone is kind of aggressive, even on the phone, you can say, well, sir, thank you for calling on the property. We've pretty much decided on a person who we're going to let handle it. And if you're interested, when you see the property, you can talk with Mr. Hopkins. He's going to be handling it for us. And I leave him my cards. And so someone comes to their door, they would hand him a card and say, call Mr. Hopkins. He's going to be helping us. Now, I haven't even had the listing yet. But here, they're protecting themselves from other realtors by using me. And they kind of liked me. We had fun when I went through their property. I used to always say to them, I know you're trying to sell the home yourself, which is wonderful. And I wish you the best. I'll tell you what, why don't you practice a little bit? And maybe I can give you some clues as you show your home to me as if I were a qualified buyer looking at it. Let's do that. And I'd get him showing the home, and then I'd give him little hints. I used to walk into a room that had too much furniture. And I would say, I hate to ask you to do this, but I'm going to suggest you maybe take out a couple of these pieces of furniture because the room looks a little cluttered. And people want space today. You might consider that. Well, here I'm doing a training session to a for sale by owner. And believe me, you do that and you're going to lock up that listing.
And it sounds like you're setting yourself up too. So that, like, framing it so that you are the agent in their mind. No matter what happens, if they decide to use an agent, I mean, they've already gone through this whole process with you. You're the guy.
Well, and that's called assumptive selling. And I did that. I assumed if you walked in my office, you, by the end of the day, if you're qualified financially and have capacity and are the real decision maker, that you're going to give us a deposit on a home today. I'd walk into a listing knowing that they may talk to 3 other real estate companies before deciding, and I would stand out in front and say, my sign's going to be in this yard, and tonight I'm going to so impress them that they're mentally, even if they don't physically choose me with a listing, they're going to choose me emotionally, and I will end up with that listing.
What up, Masters? I'm going to get you right back to the show. I want to share a couple opportunities with you. First off, my new training program I'm super pumped about. People have been asking me for years, guys. It's School for Realtors. It's an expired training. I'm giving you everything, my friends, every single thing that you're going to need to convert expired sellers in this competitive time. All right, I have every single script you're going to need. From the initial conversation, how to keep people from hanging up on you, to the closing script, right? We're giving you a copy of our pre-listing packet. I'm giving you emails that you can literally copy and paste templates. I'm giving you a 65-day email campaign, guys, that you literally copy and paste. Expired flyers, okay, 2 different marketing pieces. And we're giving you actual ads that you can use on Facebook. Guys, these are targeted ads that I've been using on Facebook, where I'm generating people calling me and saying, hey, God, I see you guys everywhere. Yeah, why don't you come over and take a look at my house? So I'm giving you everything. This is called Expired School for Realtors. Simply go to schoolforrealtors.com. It costs you $149. I wanted to make this such a no-brainer because it's going to be the best investment you will ever make in your real estate business for $149. And here's a better thing. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee. So at the end, if you said, you know what, Dave, I just didn't get value in your expired training, then I'm going to give you your $149 back, and you still have all my materials. So how's that work, right? You can't go wrong. Listen, everything is here, everything you need. And here's the last thing. We have a monthly call. You're part of an awesome community where everybody in the community has the same goals, okay? You're sharing things that work with each other, and I am logging in monthly and doing a live training for everybody. You have role play partners. Listen, this is everything you need. It's so simple. You go to schoolforrealtors.com, you get to download, and then you just start downloading. And I even made it step by step by step. Awesome opportunity for you. And then finally, and we're going to get you back to the show, I promise, if you love audiobooks or if you love podcasts, you need to check out Audible. Audible.com is Amazon's audiobook site. You can get yourself a copy of Crushing It or any book you want. I would encourage Crushing It for free by going to davidsfreebook.com. Again, davidsfreebook.com. Get yourself a free copy of any audiobook you want on Audible. Yes, they're going to ask you for a credit card, but here's what you're going to do. As long as you cancel within 30 days, your credit card will never be billed. So schedule a reminder in your calendar 25 days out, and if for some reason you don't love the service, then you cancel and your card's never, ever charged, and you get to keep the book. Guys, listen, these are opportunities. How do you go wrong with either of these opportunities? Okay, listen, I just want to share that with you. So a couple opportunities, schoolforrealtors.com and davidsfreebook.com. Enjoy the rest of the show. Let's jump into one of the questions. What would you say is the toughest aspect of selling real estate today? I mean, a lot of people are getting into the industry now, so let's frame that for new agents.
Well, the new agent, first of all, has to do two things. They really need to go and ask the manager of their office right in the very first half hour. I'm curious, who are your top two agents, hopefully a man and a woman, in the office? Well, let's say this is a big office. They've got many people. I want to know their top two agents. Well, that's Mary Brown. She's our top agent, been with us for 10 years. And that's Dan Smith, who's been with us, and he's the highest income earner. Well, now I have two names, and I'm going to go to both of them. And I'm going to humble myself and say, I'm new, I'm excited, I have enthusiasm, but very little knowledge. But your manager bragged about how great you two are. And what I would love to do is ask if I could choose you to be a mentor and maybe rely on watching you and listening to you to let me get better. Now, one thing I've found, David, over the years is a real top home run producer really loves to help new people. They love reaching down and saying, hey, let me help you get to your goals. The insecure person who's hopefully going to try to make a living, they won't give you much help because they're not doing well. But a top producer, I had a woman in California when I was 6 months in the business. Her name was Rose Lane. And Rose back then was the highest income earning person almost in all of California. Everybody knew it. She'd win all the national awards and this and that. Well, of course, I went to her. I said, Mrs. Lane, you've been touted as the top agent just about in all of California. I'm 19, just got my license. I don't know what I'm doing, but because of your great job you're doing, I was hoping I could maybe ask you to be my mentor. I'd be flattered if I could maybe observe you and watch what you do. Well, God, she was so great. She says, fine. In fact, I have a listing appointment tonight. Why don't you go with me and act just, I won't say a word, I told her. I'll just be like a trainee. And I went and watched this woman get control gently, show the empathy she had for the seller, build this beautiful rapport. And of course, after 20 minutes, I said, there's no way anyone else is going to get this property. And I not only listened to her, I made notes. I started trying to say what she said as I got a little better. And that's why I think a new person needs to find people that are doing well to copy. Because building your own style really starts by copying other styles until all of a sudden it becomes you. I call it internalizing your success is how you handle people. And that's what I think new people have to do.
I love that. It's interesting, too, listening to you. And obviously, you know, like I said, I started listening to your audios when I first got into business. You have a calming approach to you, right? It's like a slow, methodical, calm, clearly listening, you know, coming from a place of caring. And I feel like I was lucky I learned that approach, and it helped a lot of people. And then you have the other side I respect Grant Cardone, but he's kind of like the opposite side of that, right? He's just high energy, in your face, So I guess you got to figure out what style works best for you, right?
Well, and that's so true. Gosh, David, I've had such experiences. Tony Robbins was just a 21-year-old young kid when he came to my first seminar in Florida where he was at. Brian Tracy got my book when he decided he was going to go into real estate. I walked out on a patio in Hawaii when we were on vacation, and I saw my book being read. It had just come out, How to Master the Art of Selling. I saw my cover, my face on the book, and I said, how's that book? And, of course, I had my shorts head and a hat and glasses, and he didn't recognize me. He said, oh, it's a great book. I said, so you are going to go into real estate? Oh, yeah, I'm in Canada now, but I'm going to get into real estate and blah, 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 blah. I said, well, I'm Tom Hopkins. He goes, this is your book. And he just about wet his pants. He was so excited.
That's cool.
So, David, I spent 2 hours sitting with Brian Tracy, telling him what I felt he needed to really learn to do well in the business. And the folks listening to us right now, I want to share something with them. We're kind of winding down our business. We had a huge warehouse of books and CDs and DVDs, all my training tools. And especially we have the CDs of listing a home and selling a home. And we're discounting everything, almost 70%, because of our situation. And if folks are listening and they're interested, if they go to my website, tomhopkins.com, they can have access. And of course, they can call our customer service people, and they can pick up a DVD that would normally be $295 for $65. So they may want to take advantage of that. I hope they do. I'd love to be their mentor, if you will.
Well, I love that. I appreciate it, man. And, I honestly want to say thank you. And, it was a little sad to hear you said you're winding down, Obviously, I like I said, I've shared my story multiple times, and you've touched a lot of other real estate agents. You've helped a lot of others become so successful in their career. So I just want to say thank you from myself, my listeners, and also everything we talked about today is a lot of great nuggets. But Path to Mastery, that's the name of this podcast. So for people that are listening to this, what is it that you really want them to take from this talk today on their path to sales mastery?
Well, I love the name of your program and path. We're all on a path. I believe success is a continuous journey towards the achievement of predetermined worthwhile goals. So all of us in this interview, wherever your situation, we're on a path. And of course, the path is to get to the top by becoming not only a top producer, building a reputation for ethics, integrity, having people hear your name and think of your industry. If they hear Tom Hopkins, back in my 8 years in real estate, I want them to go, yeah, he's a top realtor in California now. And if they today hear my name, I'm wanting them to know that, hey, the man teaches how to usable training that can make me money, which is what I think people want in training, not theory, not hypothesis. But give me something that works, what I can use, it's fundamentally sound, which is what I've tried to live all my life doing.
Well, I feel like you've nailed that. So again, I appreciate you. I appreciate you spending some time with us, and I just thank you, and you've been awesome.
Unbelievable, man. Thank you.
I love it. Masters, if you know me, you know health and nutrition is number one, and that's why I'm an advisor for AdvoCare products. Listen, in my opinion, these are the best products on the planet, guys. You get what you're supposed to get, right? I use the products for health. I use the products for energy. I use the products for wellness. So we have all the different lines from Spark, starting your day with a great energy shot, all the way to pre-workout. It's whatever your goals are, right? It's whatever your goals are. You can check out the products at www.livelongersmarter.com. That's my website. Or reach out to me, and I'd love to have a 30-minute or, anywhere from 15 to 30-minute conversation with you, just talking about your health and nutrition goals and what I can do to help you achieve those goals. So again, products, energy line, or wellness line, whether it's joints, you're getting up there in the age, you just want to take care of yourself. I'll tell you, one of the greatest compliments I get is people, you say, wow, you look amazing. I cannot believe you are the age you are. weight loss. I've helped lots of people, guys, lose weight, not just lose it, but keep it off with the products. And the cool thing is, I'd say 75% of the people who start with our products, they continue using our products even after they initially tried them, which has been amazing. And strength, if you're into bodybuilding, then hey, Rich Fronin, okay? I don't know if you know who Rich Fronin is. He's an advocate for AdvoCare as well. So amazing products. You can see us. We're featured on NASCAR, professional soccer, college basketball, college football, Men's Health magazine last month. These are the real deal, guys. livelongersmarter.com is the website, or reach out to me if you, like I said, if you want to have a personal conversation with me, just send me an email. In the subject line, just put AdvoCare products, and I'd love, like I said, schedule a 15 to 30 minute call with you to talk about your health and nutrition goals. Guys, you rock. Live longer, smarter. And as Gary Keller eloquently said, if you don't take care of your body, where are you gonna live? You rock.
You are listening to One More Sale with your host, David I. Hill, author of the Sales Playbook. Get your copy at www.thesalesplaybook.net.